Hello and welcome to the Big Bank Theory podcast. My name's John. Said that weird with my friend and colleague Dan. Hello.
Hi.
It's been a week of debacles, Dan. Absolute debacles.
Yeah, rough waters. We're in rough waters now.
We're in choppy seas.
I've been reading a lot of books about the sea.
Yeah,
boats,
you have.
So
Not the big sea, cancer.
no,
The sea.
even bigger sea.
The briny,
sea.
The briny deep.
The ocean.
The depths.
The big blue boy.
No one calls it the big blue boy.
Oh, I am now.
All right, yeah, the big old big bluey. What? Yeah, it's there's been two things happen this week. One football related, one club related. We'll talk about the game first, I think. Get that out of the way, as City chose to do. City not aware that if you just give a game away instantly, you still have to play the whole 90 minutes.
I know. If only you didn't.
You could just stop.
If you could declare.
Yes.
And just say, look, this isn't going to go well. We'll just take it now.
No one's injured. We'll go home.
Yeah, eat the traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll stay dry.
Yeah.
Away to Northampton, 6 fields. We never get anything from them, especially away. But
Not a happy hunting ground.
Not a
Apart
happy
from that, was that match in this promotion season when?
Yeah.
That was it. Even that was a draw, wasn't it?
I think
don't
so,
we even
yeah.
won that, but that was a good one. But,
I feel like we've won one and drawn one in about the last 15 years.
yeah.
Anyway, we didn't do either of those things this time. We lost 2-0.
Saturday, yeah, no different. First goal coming. I couldn't watch this because despite being in foreign climes and legally allowed to watch the match,
Yeah.
my £10 match pass didn't work, and
Yeah.
I have still yet to receive any kind of email reply. So if you're listening to this, Exeter City support /streamamg.com or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I assume you're not listening. Give me my money back, you freaks.
Some might say they've done you a favour there by letting you pay £10 not to watch it.
They could argue that,
But I don't think
and
that's
they
in the
may
contract.
well do.
No, it might.
Yeah.
So it was within the first minute.
Yeah.
City went a goal behind.
Poor.
I mean, that's poor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we know, the way we tend to approach, well, most matches, but especially away matches, which seems to be play for a draw.
Mm-hmm. Maybe sneak it.
Yeah, that's a kind of, I mean, that's might be a bit lazy. I'm sure Gary Colwell would argue with that.
He'd say it's more nuanced than that.
Yeah, but there's no room for nuance here. And we're clearly playing for a 0-0. If you go for that and then you concede in the first minute, the whole plan's out the window, isn't it?
Very
And
early on.
If you then concede again about 10 minutes later,
Yeah.
then the plans really are scuppered, because what have we got after when you go a goal behind? What have we got? Not a lot.
When you go 2 goals behind, we got even less.
Yeah.
So it was, I mean, very disappointing. We knew it was going to be, because it always is Northampton, but you can't, I mean, I'm sure Gary, whatever his, model of potential victory is, obviously it relies upon the defence not doing that. To be fair, the first goal was a well-taken goal, but he shouldn't be having that kind of possession in our box within 30 seconds.
No.
And then the second goal was, and we always stand up for him, we say we like him as a player, but Macmillan's had an absolute mare there, hasn't he?
He has the first mare, which is just like a really bad clearance.
Yeah.
But then how it manages to kind of like, how they manage to just kind of like walk it in the net in a crowded penalty area is a bit baffling. So I don't know who to point the finger at, apart from all of them.
We can't point the finger at Reece Cole, who was out injured, we think. If you recall, he went off last Saturday at half-time, didn't he?
Yeah.
Ill/injured, never quite been made clear. Seems to have morphed into injury.
I know.
And now he's not playing.
I think
We miss him.
It's worrying because you look at the squad before and you think, okay, Reece Cole is kind of like, he's the difference maker. He's the one who's got a kind of like modicum of a chance of making something happen through the middle. And then when he's out, you just think, whoa, how is this going to work? And we saw that on Saturday, that the wings, no pace. there's no pace on the wings, and well, there's pace. Where there is pace, there's no end product, and where there is, on the other side, it's kind of neither.
Yeah,
it's just it's a bit concerning, isn't it? And I think we'll probably bring in. Hopefully a couple of more bodies.
It's gone very quiet, hasn't it? It's gone very quiet. And I know City always end up in the position, don't they, where we're very few players' first choice. So as the window goes on, our chances improve of getting someone. We know that's the case.
Yeah, there's been a couple of rumours, hasn't there? There was rumours that guy Owen Dale, who I think was at Oxford, and then also there's this young Crystal Palace guy. But neither of those things have materialised. We'll end up getting some winger on loan, I imagine, and then it's that's just an absolute gamble, then, isn't it? It might you end up with someone who does really well, and or you could end up with Donovan Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Armani Richards. It's ones that sometimes they don't work. Best bet maybe someone like Tony Yagan, who showed signs of promise but didn't exactly light up the league. Well,
Wildschut was kind of the best last minute person, wasn't he? But then it took him a really long time to get going, and then just as he got going, he had an awful injury.
Well, speaking of Yannick Wildschut, he was there at Sixfields.
Is that right?
Basically on our bench.
Is he?
But in his normal clothes.
He's not our player, is he?
No, he's no one's player, but it's starting to look like maybe he will be again. And I don't know, I'm not, whatever the question is, I don't think that Yannick Wildschut is the answer.
If the question is, can you name someone from French Guiana?
Yeah.
Yannick Wildschut would be the answer.
Well, no, that's not where he's from. But no, Suriname. But
sorry, Yannick. Sorry, everyone from South America.
So we may end up with him. He was already, he was useful enough, but he's had an ACL injury and missed an entire year, and he's also
he was already old then.
He's already like the wrong side of 35, I think. Anyway, that's. I don't know. I think we may be in a position now where how do we need another centre midfielder? How has this happened? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know what's that. And we've got these names that float around, and then
they always end up going somewhere else.
No, I don't even mean the ones that are going to get signed. I mean, we've got these players in theory who are our players, and
there's Pedro in there, but he's injured, and then is he someone who's really going to play? Even when he wasn't injured, he didn't really get a look in.
That's what I mean. There seems to be two categories of names. There's the ones that definitely are always around the first 11, and then these other ones, and they're never around the first 11. And occasionally you see them named on the bench, but
like Andrew Olorabori. Where's he?
Exactly like Andrew Olorabori.
Where's he?
Where is he?
I don't know. It's weird, isn't it?
It's really weird. He's the only player with pace we've got, basically. Apart from Ilmari.
Well, yeah. The less said about him, the better, I think.
He had a good chance on Saturday, by all accounts. Couldn't stick it away.
Well, I couldn't do anything with it, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. We don't look dangerous. We're not a dangerous team. Ever, almost. We are a team that can build, sometimes. We are a team that can defend well, sometimes. We're not a team where you're like, oh no, what's going to happen now? The opposition, Even when we have clear-cut chances, they generally don't work out very well. I know that's kind of League One, but it isn't. We play teams all the time and you think, oh heck, this doesn't look very promising for us, and then we never look particularly dangerous.
It's a situation of basically that they know we're in a place where the opposition team knows exactly what we're going to do, but we have to be good enough to do it anyway. And
yes,
I just don't like being there. Do you know what I mean? Not really. We can't use the width because you either can't run or you can't cross. And the strikers, we've had this problem the whole time that Caldwell's been there, is we've had these completely ineffective strikers. Wareham now is looking like the latest in the line of it, because they've got nothing. It's making Josh McGuinness, who's someone with a couple of years left on his career max, look like he's already finished. It's making Sonny Cox look like
he's never started.
That he needs to go out on loan to Weston-super-Mare.
Yeah.
And Jaden Wareham, the latest was like, well, he hadn't done anything, because we don't get the striker. We never get the strikers involved, and we can't find a way to do it. So it's like, yeah, I feel sorry for him because I don't think we're getting necessarily a true indication of what they can do.
We know that's the case because think about what Sam Nombe was like under Colwell.
Yeah, well, there wasn't a huge sample size, was it? But yeah.
Okay, so that was the only game this week, but it wasn't the only activity at the club. As we talked about last week, it was the Trust Fans Forum. Is that the right title?
Think so, yeah.
Anyone could go.
Yeah.
You went.
I did go, yeah.
It was on YouTube. I watched it. To say I watched it is true. To say I heard it, less true.
Yeah.
Wasn't really that easy to follow on account of some mad mic skills.
Yeah.
From...
I think it was a skill issue, yeah.
I think it was a skill issue.
Yeah, so what I'll say is, Clive Harrison, meow.
So talk us through it. So Pete Furley's there. He does the introduction. There's a kind of PowerPoint, isn't there, behind him, behind Big Clive.
Well, shall I sum it up?
Please.
I'd say it's a sort of like an hour-long dressing down by by a man who's obviously been at the trust for a long time, but is new to the position of chair or interim chair.
That's a difficult position, right?
It's a bollocking.
But he's come in. That's hard to do. Before any of this happened, to take over from someone, and we found out that in fact that Clive Harrison's on his way out. His tenure finishes in October.
Yes, although there's some discussion that he wants to run as independent chair.
Right. Well, on the showing from Tuesday, I'd say maybe not.
Yeah.
So that's difficult for him, though. Nick Hawke has been in charge. Obviously, he's done it for a long time. He's been public face, blah, blah, blah. So it's hard for someone to come in with 3 months left and have to speak about the things that you've been involved in but not necessarily in charge of. But yeah, he chose to do it in a way that made it seem like it was all our fault.
The decision to take this tone was the strangest thing that I can really... it just really was quite a bizarre experience.
It seemed like the decision to take that tone speaks into the idea that if you can't say something nice, it's better to say nothing at all. That it seems like they're in a worse position now for doing that meeting.
I would say, yeah, they definitely are. The feeling in that room was very much kind of like a little bit kind of shock of what's happening here. We're there supposed to get some answers. It starts off with him telling us, I can't give you any of these answers.
Yeah, it's legal.
Legal reasons.
Legal reasons.
I can't tell you anything. Why are you asking me? So on the one hand, it's kind of like, this is an emergency.
Yeah.
And at the same time, why are you asking me about that? Nothing's wrong. Everything is absolutely fine. It was so defensive. It makes me wonder that like the only thing I could think of that it could possibly be is that some probably well-meaning person has made some big blunder, and then everyone's getting on their back about it and asking, and he maybe feels sorry for this person, and then has come out in a kind of defensive on their behalf.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, it makes as much sense as any other reason.
Didn't get any answers to anything really, because anything anyone wanted to know was classified. I
tell you the one thing we did get answers about: pasties. That was not classified.
Yeah, we got some pasty. We got some pasty answers. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, you're right. It was because he did a presentation. If you haven't watched it, he did a presentation, but really he just spoke to a number of points, didn't he? And then at the end, there had been pre-sent-in questions, which were either answerable, and he gave answers of some sort or another, or unanswerable, as in I can't. The law says so.
Yeah. It's so murky, the whole thing. As in, what I mean by that is difficult to understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's legal process, but it's being conducted. It's an independent review, but it's being conducted by members of the board.
Members of the staff.
Members of the staff.
Yeah, yeah. Who we don't know who.
So, but we don't know who that is. And is that... So is that... I don't really...
if I was to take a guess, I would assume the chief financial officers involved.
I thought the chief financial officer left.
No, the chief executive, who'd previously been the chief financial officer, left. Joe Gorman.
Didn't some head of finance leave as well, though?
There's a woman named, whose name I've now forgotten.
Right.
Rachel someone, who's the chief financial officer, and she's only recently come in.
Rachel Reeves.
Not Rachel Reeves. She came in when Joe Gorman moved up to CEO. I think she came in. No, I really should have researched that.
Anyway, that's what I mean. We
Yeah.
kind of went looking for answers. And to be honest, went looking for a kind of like a bit of galvanising. A bit of kind of thinking like, this is all right. Really, no, don't worry about it. Like, it's bad, but like... And I think they shouldn't have even needed... They wouldn't have needed to do this fan forum in the first place if they'd just been a little bit more open about what it was. You could have got away with... If there's legal things, if you'd come up and said ahead of time, look, something has happened. We will give you the answers. There's annoyingly legal things in the way at the moment, so that's why we can't answer these things. But we will, and we want to, and this is ongoing process. They've just done that because now they announced, oh, we'll do another fan forum after the review's finished.
Yeah.
So you could have just delayed the one that's happening now until the one where you actually are allowed to answer things.
Yeah.
But you can't because you've stayed completely tight-lipped over everything for months, and people have had to work out for themselves, going, like, what's going on here? And obviously, in that vacuum, people start speculating. And the speculation seemed to be the thing which had irked Clive Harrison, because he's furious about it. And he's got having to pop at X-Web. He didn't have a go at us, and I was a little bit offended. But...
Come on, Clive, what you got against
we're
us?
speculating too.
Yeah,
we're wildly speculating.
We're doing good speculation.
We're chucking accusations around like nothing, no one's business.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, whenever someone has to go at X-Web, it always makes me think they haven't looked at X-Web in a long time. That's what that feels like. So presumably, he's not even heard a podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
seems weird because the people in the room, right, are people that care enough who have actually turned up on.
By the way, there was lots of ex-Trust board members in the room.
Yeah, loads of them.
They've all declared.
Everyone there really kind of like gives a shit. I mean, they really do.
Yeah.
And then for everyone to turn up on a weeknight with very little notice and then just get kind of like harangued for over an hour, I thought was absolutely stunning.
I mean, talk about tone deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, really poor do. So...
Then, after that bit finished, little break, and then... I've forgotten the guy's name.
Nick Edwards.
Yeah. He came on and had a much better tone.
And he's also Trust board member, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, as we know...
He tried to kind of like, smooth it over, it felt like to me. But at this point, a lot of people had left, including Clive Harrison, who'd gone to the bar for this bit.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah. Didn't step foot back in the room after his bit. And about Nick Edwards, yeah, he was, that... But, I mean, he does tend to ramble on a bit. But, yeah.
I can go with rambling.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way I can't. I think, like we said last week, like we've been saying for a while, Trust needs an overhaul. Not necessarily in what it does, not even necessarily in its reach and remit and all that, but why it's doing things, how it's doing things, need looking at. And communication is a massive part of that. So I've seen people, and I've got an email here for later, from people just saying, I just want to give my money directly to the club then. If the Trust just hands it on to the club anyway, and the Trust is all kind of buoyed up by, oh, we're the important people here.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It felt like it's a way of some people feeling like, oh, we're doing a lot for the club here. Sometimes it just feels like...
Yeah, we're doing all this. Why are you questioning us?
Yeah.
Leave us alone. Yeah.
And because it's a curious setup, we all know it is, because of how it has to be done and because of the trouble the club was in before, we've just got to 20 years of kind of mush where, I've never liked when people say, it feels like it's village fate organising, but it's kind of hard to defend that view when it's just so closed shop, hard to get elected onto the board, hard to get them to take you seriously when you email in, hard to get them to take you seriously when we've got genuine problems, so they begrudgingly put on a forum and then, like you said... Yeah,
just sort of scoff at everyone's questions, really.
So I can see people starting to organise and being like, we're going to have to do something different here and something better. If the Trust don't want that to happen, and I'd imagine there'll be nothing they can do to stop it because they don't seem like they're ready for a fight, And probably we'll see large changes in elected officers over the next few years.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I suppose so.
But if they wanted to stop that from happening, the first thing I'd say would be ask someone to tell you how to communicate properly. Get a communications expert in.
That's what they have.
Do they actually?
Yes.
And that's what they advised. Well, no, we don't know if that's what they advised. That's what they've come up with.
Someone on the trust board is some sort of as a background in communications.
Well, anyone who's been to school in the last 30 years or sat through a PowerPoint in the last 30 years, point number one is make sure you can see what's on the PowerPoint. Point number two.
Did you not see it on the
Couldn't
YouTube
see it on the screen.
thing?
Could you see it?
Yeah, but I was in the room.
But pretty small.
Oh yeah, it wasn't brilliantly put together, but it seemed very last minute.
Yeah. So that's another.
It seemed
communication
reluctant. But basically, it's very reluctantly.
I don't know how many people watched on YouTube and Zoom and that. I know people were looking for the Zoom link, even though it was on YouTube, so even that wasn't publicised properly. There was no attempt to. How many people were in the room? 100? 200?
I'd say 100, maybe. Yeah.
So when I looked, YouTube told me that 600 people were watching. So that's 600 people that you could do better to engage with. It's just all this stuff all the time, isn't it? It's constantly like face palm, like, why have you done that?
Yeah.
And maybe if they weren't so pig-headed about like not looking on XWeb or XWeb's...
Well, this is what it seems like. They haven't engaged. There's not that many places to engage with.
No, there's
what people think about.
There's two podcasts.
There's Facebook.
There's XWeb.
There's Twitter.
Yeah.
There's XWeb. By far, the most coherent of those is XWeb, and that's the only one that's singled out for criticism.
Yeah, everyone knows Facebook's a den of loonies.
To be honest, anyone listening to this who who wants to know more about the ins and outs of it, what questions were asked, what ones weren't answered properly, the place I would suggest to go is go and look at it on XWeb. That is where you're going to find people who are like, what, very invested. Why else would you be writing on a forum every day of your life? These people are really,
including us in this,
invested. Yeah, I don't write a lot on there, but I do this and I read a lot. That's how I get a lot of, like, especially around this. This is how I've been getting a lot of that information. And they're just going like, oh, it's all kind of nutters, like conspiracy theories and online. It's like, you don't know what it is then, which means you're not engaging properly with the fans. And we supposedly, isn't he like the engagement officer?
Yeah. Right. Never seen less. Yeah.
And apparently we're told we're the number one for fan engagement in the whole country. That's part of the PowerPoint.
I saw that. That was his first kind of starting point, wasn't it?
Heck.
I mean, what's that measured on?
I don't know. They do these sort of things. We wouldn't normally pay any attention to that kind of crap because it's not interesting. But
well, that's the problem, isn't it? If the trust pats itself on the back, or the club pats itself on the back and says, "Well, we've been given an award,"
yeah,
well, not realising that actually there's real deep concern in the real places where stuff's really happening, then it's mad, isn't it? You're never gonna do well if that's...
Well, yeah, mad is the right word, I think. Yeah, the whole thing was I wasn't expecting it. But really weird day.
Well done to everyone that went. Well done to everyone that spoke out.
I'll definitely be going to the next one.
Yeah,
I was kind of more concerned before I went. I think I saw last week about like people that maybe were going to kind of hijack it, because I'd heard about that happening at the one about the branding thing.
That's right.
It wasn't like that at all. If anything, I was like kind of really hoping that people were like, because of the tone of it, I'm never going to stand up because I haven't got the, I don't have like the kind of knowledge and the depth about these kind of things. I'm just an interested party basically. And I was kind of thinking, come on, like when people were kind of pushing back, I was like, yeah, good. I was really kind of I was like, it is vital that people did that, and people tried, but what can you do when someone just goes, I can't tell you?
Well, thankfully, what you can do is we've got a trust election in October. I think we'll see big push for people with particular agendas, well thought out. This is what I actually would like to see happen. This is what I'm going to push for. I think we'll see people like that trying to get elected.
I hope so, but then I'm not sure how easy it is to kind of even, like, how do you even go about doing it? I think people were a bit confused about how I'd like to do this, but I don't even really know what I should do, kind of thing. Like,
I think if to anyone,
that's why it ends up being all the same people.
Yeah, and obviously it's a big commitment and that. If anyone's listening and they're thinking about who to vote for or what kind of things to vote for or whether they would go for it and what change they'd want to see, I'd say remember, like, you don't have to have the answers. We should be looking for experts who would tell us how you improve these kind of things. Like, I think that's the problem. I think inevitably some people can think, well, I used to do this, therefore I can transfer it to this, and I'm an Exeter City supporter. So to get someone in the Venn diagram of they've got all the answers and they're a City supporter, that's really hard to do.
Yeah, I know it's a very small pool.
So what we really want are people who are open to using experts and outside people to help them to direct the thing in a useful way. That's the way forward. Don't think like, I've got to know what to do. Think, I know that we've got to try and find people who can tell us some of our options of what we could do.
Yeah.
There we are. Well, obviously this is going to rumble on for months yet.
Well, yeah.
When's the next So we're getting the review in the next couple of weeks, we think?
I think the review finished in a couple of weeks, and then it's like, and the forum will be another few weeks after that. So probably be getting on to. Well, when's the AGM? That's October, isn't it?
Yeah. So
or November.
Because Clive Harrison talked about legal things, I mean, you couldn't say stuff. I don't think the review's going to solve all of that stuff.
No, I'm sure it won't.
I think some things will come out of the review and they'll say we can't say.
Definitely.
So I don't think we'll have a lot more answers.
No, probably not.
We've been told that Joe Gorman and Nick Hawker left for personal reasons. We're not going to get any more info than that. I think all the other stuff there'll be a couple of bits of like this happened or this didn't happen. And it will be more like this is what's being implemented to stop these kinds of issues from happening again. And we won't actually know what these kind of issues were.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Yeah. But of course,
the problem is that they've made this problem themselves. If they'd communicated this better, the people would be willing to accept those answers.
Yeah.
But even before that fans forum, it had been the transparency and the communication had been so bad that people were then demanding answers, and then they were served up that.
Yeah.
Forum.
Yeah.
So after this, now, I think when we get that review back and there's still not answers, I think people are going to be really ticked off.
Yeah, good word. Of course, the most important thing is we finally got answers about the pasty.
That is the most important thing, yeah.
So Chunk of Devon, big fans of Devon, were set aside. They seem to be upset about this. They didn't know why. Clive Harrison tells us is that they couldn't guarantee hot pasty deliveries.
Right, yeah.
And so we've used another company who can guarantee Saturday hot pasty delivery.
Yeah. And apparently some people sat down and tasted them and then said they tasted nice.
Yeah. So there you go. I got more questions about that than anything.
Yeah. To be honest, I did switch off a bit during the pasty debate. I was a bit kind of like shell-shocked by the rest of it, to be honest. I was like...
Missed the main stuff.
Pasties now. Yeah. Bring your own food would be my suggestion.
Yeah.
Pat lunch.
It's going to be like when you raise money at school for like a famine. You bring your own food, but then you pay as if you're paying for school dinners.
Right, okay.
That's what we'll have to do, isn't it?
Yeah, bring a tin of baked beans and just chuck them in a bin.
Oh, you could do that? Yeah.
On the way in.
I'd like to just see that. Bring your own cup, and whatever we've got, we'll put it in your cup.
Whatever we can find.
Yeah,
a bit of gravel.
We'll just put it all in together.
Haribo.
Someone brings sweet corn, someone brings beans, someone brings like Finder's crispy pancakes. It's all in a big pot.
Yeah.
Warmed thoroughly. And then it's potluck what you get.
Yeah, I like it. Mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery scram.
In the Old Testament of the Bible, the priests were told to stick a fork in and whatever came out was theirs. Same principle.
Okay, yeah. Sounds good.
Stick a spoon in, put it in your cup.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Courtesy of Clive Harrison.
Yeah. He's got a catering background as well, so I think he'd probably go for that.
He'd go for that.
Yeah.
All we need is a big spoon.
I'm sure we could come up with something. Yeah, so, that's it, I think.
All right.
A thoroughly strange experience.
Thanks for going on behalf of us.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
By which I mean all of us listening so that we didn't have to go, yeah. Honestly, on YouTube, it was like...
like you said about it's a skill issue with the mic. He's sort of going like, I know weird sometimes, like maybe not the best at...
yeah, we were aware that when we were talking.
We
were really loud.
But he would really trail off. He'd go like, well, the thing is... well, X-Web, bunch of dickheads just talking...
But what we were getting at home,
No.
what we were getting at home was
No, that's what we were getting in the room. There's no difference. That's what was happening.
It was really weird.
I couldn't hear what he was saying half the time. It wasn't like it's not like Scott and the media team's fault. That's just they can only film what's in front of them.
No,
They can only record what's being said, and it was a load of mumbled anger.
disdain.
Pure disdain, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Dan. We're going to catch up on the football in a second. Welcome back to the Big Bang Theory podcast. Remember, you can email us bigbangpod@gmail.com if you want to say anything about the meeting. Maybe you want work for Chunk of Devon and you don't know where this rumour about cold pasties has come from. Anything. Chris has been in touch.
We're home to whistleblowers here. If you want to
Yeah, we are.
blow the whistle on anything.
Chris has been in touch via Italy, where he says if we want to go for a Roman snack, he sent us in a recipe.
Okay. Traditional Roman or
Yeah,
modern
traditional
day?
Roman. Carciofi alla Romana.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. I'm not saying it looks... You ever watched The Walking Dead?
No.
Zombie TV show, right?
Yeah.
Kill a zombie. How'd you kill a zombie, Dan?
You knock his head off?
You knock his head off. You do something to his brain.
Right, yeah, destroy the brain.
Destroy the brain. So often in The Walking Dead, they chop off the top of the head.
Yeah.
The
Well, that's
Carciofi
it.
alla Romana.
Well, then take the brain out.
No, if you just get them above the eyes, if you damage the brain, they're done for.
Okay.
Carciofi alla Romana looks a lot like the Walking Dead special effects department. I'm showing Dan. I think it's some sort of artichoke on a stick.
Oh, yeah, looks lovely.
Yeah. Bit brainish. It's typical dish of Roman cuisine, pan-braised artichokes. You have it during springtime in Rome.
There you go. That looks and sounds nice to me. I like an artichoke.
Looks a bit brainish. But Chris says it's nice and vegan and gluten-free, so it covers all the bases.
We won't be getting that at St James Park anytime
won't.
soon. Maybe Clive Harrison can get some of these in for the kiosks.
Can it do it on a cold Tuesday evening in November? I don't know, yet to see, but maybe I'll try it. Maybe next time I'll bring it. So thanks, Chris, that's useful. Chris also says he's been trying, we've got the 1931 fund.
Yeah.
He's been trying to see if they would let him donate less, because £19 a month, right?
Is that how much it is?
Yeah.
Oof.
But he's like, I'm reading between the lines here, but he said he's been in touch. Could
Someone's
I donate
got to pay
less?
for JDH's.
Yeah, but if you could do
wages.
makes sense. If he could do half and I could do half, for example, might be more palatable. No reply. And so this is, and I know that's not even a club run thing. I know that's a supporters run thing.
Right, yeah. Well, same as way, I'm not getting a reply about the...
You're not getting a reply. And obviously the club website doesn't even accept donations specifically to things. So you can't donate to the academy. You can't. All that stuff could be sorted really easily.
Okay.
If we treated the trust like a charity and used all the things that normal charities do, there'd be loads more options to
Charity begins at home.
park. No.
I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Charity begins at home park because, look at the state of them.
Yeah, where's the money gone?
Where has it gone? That's the only thing I'm not worried about this season.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine. It's not exciting football. Gary will keep us up. We'll do what we've got to do. Ilmari will keep running. It'll be all right. I just hope Argyle don't find form until we've been able to thump them.
Well, they already won at the weekend.
I know.
I'm not optimistic about us beating them,
Neither am I.
but we'll find out sooner or later.
I don't mind
next month, innit?
Obviously, I really,
Pretty
really,
much.
really don't want to lose, but you just don't want to be embarrassed. And the problem is this team, our team, is currently in the realms of could embarrass you,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time.
couldn't it?
Definitely.
They're laughing.
We haven't played anyone good yet.
We haven't played anyone good. No.
And next we're playing Peterborough.
So Peterborough on Saturday,
Luckily for us, they really aren't any good.
home park. No, why do I keep saying home park? It's at home, St James Park, and they're currently bottom of the league.
Yeah, they got 1 point.
Remember that for a while they were taking all our best players and thriving.
Yeah.
Randall, Sparks, Collins, Pym.
Yeah.
Darren Ferguson's still there, still upsetting people.
Yeah, they've all gone now, apart from Archie Collins. In fact, the team's pretty much... I mean, I don't keep a massive keen eye on the Peterborough squad, but Collins was the only one I really recognised in there. Otto as well.
For a while, you'd look at Peterborough and be like, well, that's a team built for the Championship.
Yeah, it did look like it, yeah. And then they obviously had a bit unexpectedly shit season last year, didn't they? When people thought they would do well. And then they've started this season even worse.
Ferguson, what? Because he does get sacked, but then obviously he comes back. So they must always think like, because the guy's quite. I can't remember his name, the chairman now. He's quite sack happy.
Oh, is he?
In that, how many times has Ferguson had the job?
Well, yeah, it seems like loads. Yeah,
I think it's 7, isn't it?
Is it? Right.
Is that mad?
Who knows? Yeah, probably not.
I think it's 7. But like, I don't know. I think like the more Ferguson comes back, the less the guy bothers to sack him because he'll probably be back in a minute anyway.
Yeah.
So he'll probably turn it around. Don't let it be Saturday, please.
No, we need a bit. I think we already could do with a bit of a response here. I mean, you know, it's like you said. I broadly agree. I think Colwell will probably keep us up. Our luck might run out. Kind of depends on the injury situation.
It kind of does run out, though. It does run out. We get beaten really badly by Northampton.
No, but I think a season within a season, our luck might run out. We're never like, you know, but probably not. I've got enough faith in Gary now, I think, to be like, yeah, it won't be pretty, but we'll probably survive.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Reece Cole back fit, if that's at all possible.
I'd like to see Oluwabori given a chance.
Maybe, yeah.
And I don't want to see Wareham missing.
How long till John Lee's back, you know?
Yeah. Because McMillan was playing in the back 3 on Saturday, wasn't he?
Yeah, already. Yeah, I want to see...
There's Luca Woodhouse, who came on.
Yeah,
but
he
only with
doesn't
10
look
minutes
quite
to go.
ready to go, does he?
No.
I want to see Doyle Harris start,
Doyle Hayes,
not Francis, and I want to see a win.
I want to see a plan B, C, and D is what I want to see.
Well, that would be nice. Yeah, a response. If it doesn't go our way from the off, I'd like to see. Yeah, and I don't think that's completely impossible. I mean, haven't seen a huge amount of evidence of it yet, but
I do feel for him Saturday. Obviously, if you go behind after a minute, that's kind of got to do with how you set up. But it's more got to do with how the players start.
There's not much you can do about like either those 2 goals as a coach, because I mean maybe there is, but it's more broadly his problem, the way you're going to go about things.
Yeah,
those individual kind of like circumstances for those 2 goals. It's like, yeah, you kind of got to put that on the players, really, haven't you?
I'd say so. And
the big picture stuff's on him.
Yeah.
How you approach matches, how you approach different teams, but when it comes to it, he can't go out and play anymore, Gary.
When we haven't got Cole.
What can you do if your players just can't clear their lines,
and
or
you
they
haven't
don't
got
pick
Sweeney?
up? You know.
Yeah, I do.
Ryan Rydell looks like someone. I mean,
he's not there yet, is he?
I'm hoping it's just he's not quite up to speed yet.
Well, Stockport spoke very highly of him, and obviously Stockport did very well.
Yeah,
but I mean, as we know, some players just don't fit in, do they? For whatever reason.
Yeah, and also it may well just click, and he might win a really good season out of him. We never know. You never know, but
I think Gary, like we said, I think we'll survive. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll win some games. Obviously, we'll lose plenty of games. What he really needs to do to keep us on side, I don't mean us, I mean everyone, is some good home performances. Now, obviously, Blackpool went a long way to do that.
Yeah. Like I said last week, though, it's really more to do with Blackpool than it was to do with us.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think the longer it goes on, the more we'll realise
anyone not as, pig-headed as Bruce just wouldn't set up like that against us.
It's just he's broken his nose a lot. He's not actually got a pig for a head.
Well, it's very easy to forget sometimes when I'm just looking at a pig in a tracksuit.
Wow.
Sorry, Steve. I didn't start that.
No, that was me. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. The longer it goes on, the more we get into October, November, and the home performances are dull/poor.
Yeah.
The harder it gets for Gary. If he can give us good home performances and battling away performances and a team that looks like it will stay up, people will be reasonably happy with that.
Yeah. positives from the last weekend was Brearley.
Yeah.
He looked good.
Yeah.
I want to call him Brian, but it's not his name, is it?
Ethan Brearley.
Ethan Brearley.
Brian Earley.
He looked good.
I think he is good. I think Doyle Hayes is good.
And Doyle Hayes when he came on.
I think that will be a good combo.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with that, and I think that's some good Gary recruitment that he's done there.
I think he should. Obviously, we didn't have Reece Coles, so that's
the other
hard
thing
to
is,
do.
obviously, we want to get some more players in, but we don't know the extent of the club finances because no one will tell us.
Well,
because it's all classified.
Well, what they have told us is it's the same. It wasn't entirely clear. It had gone up year on year, Gary's playing budget.
Yeah.
And then they said, didn't they, January it also went up.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're in a financial hole, so that's presumably why that happened, or how that happened.
Yeah.
We've reverted it, they've said.
Back to the same as the beginning of last season.
I think that's what they mean. So we got back to September. So we're not like broke. It's not like we can't get anyone in.
No.
When that change happened, I don't know. Had he already signed
But what
John
it does
Lee?
mean is we're probably not able to kind of like, at this point, kind of push.
No.
Gary's not able to kind of push for any more.
No,
You know?
that's
it's
right.
probably just like, no, really, there is no more.
There
This
is
is
no
how
more,
much is
that's right.
left. You can have Yannick.
Yeah.
Look at him, he's right there. He wants to play now.
Yeah.
He didn't earlier. He went
We've
to
offered
Bradford for a bit.
him a go on the vat of compiled foods.
He likes the sound of it. He thinks
Yeah.
that sounds cool.
He's asked if he can bring his kids. We've said yes.
Yeah.
So give him a go on the left wing.
Yeah.
Gary's like, he's only got one leg.
Yeah.
And they're like, Gary,
Yeah, but he wants to play.
you wanted to go to Spain, Gary.
Yeah. You can't have everything.
You can't have everything.
You can't have answers to any of these questions. You can have Yannick Wildschut for another year with one leg.
You can't have non-passive aggressive chairs of trust,
Yeah.
but you can have a warmer pasty
Yeah, in the wrong bag.
in the wrong bag.
You can't have a pasty in the right bag.
Yes.
You can have
You can go...
very crackly, baseless PA. Why is there no bass in the PA? Can't you get up there? Every year I think like, just get up there and reconnect those wires or whatever.
I think that's what happened. The wires are
just
falling
pops
out.
out and they're
Yeah,
out the
yeah.
back. I know it's a long way up, but like...
Yeah. I never knew that AC/DC didn't have a bass player until I heard it on Saturday.
Yeah, it was interesting to know what Highway to Hell sounded like with no bass.
With no bass
But-
drum and no bass player.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can bring your own non-school uniform to the touchline,
You what?
Gary Colwell,
Oh, I see.
but you can't have any new training kit in the shop.
No.
There's none.
Isn't there?
No.
Is it because it's sold out because it's so ever so popular?
Never came. They said it's coming soon. Hasn't come yet.
Oh.
I'm a man who's always keeping an eye out for a training item.
You're never doing any training either, so it's ironic.
Never doing any training. I wear the training shorts, the nice fluffy ones, to bed.
Right, yeah. That's what
And-
they're designed for.
My wife's always like, aren't you hot? And I'm like, no, I'm representing my club.
Yeah.
And I always keep an eye out for a training shirt for like running.
Okay, yeah.
And there's nothing coming. So I think that's why Gary's in Reese wear.
Maybe.
That's why he's in CNA for men.
Well, they have to go like, well, you can't have, I want some training gear.
Yeah.
There isn't any Gary. You just have to wear your normal home clothes.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Your civvies.
Perks has got him. They're like, well, he's in children's ones.
Yeah. You've got loads of kids stuff.
Loads of kids stuff. If you want to try and fit into it, Gary, he's like I'm a 6
I've
foot.
slimmed right down.
You're a 6'2".
You're still not
Scottish
getting
centre.
into a 6 to 8 kit.
Yeah, I'm not saying Perks is small, but when he puts on a City shirt, it's the baby's one without an Adidas logo on
It's
it.
like one of those ones you used to hang off your wing mirror.
They've just cut them in half and made sleeve openings.
Your wing. So what is it? Your
Yeah, you
your
hang
rear
it
view
on your
mirror,
rear view mirror. Yeah,
It
yeah.
used to be all the rage.
Yeah.
Um,
They've told Gary he can go into the club shop, have a free sticker pack,
Yeah.
and stick the club badge onto his Reese shirt if he wants.
yeah, maybe.
He's
that's
like,
it.
that's disrespectful. I'm the manager of this club. And they're like, Gary.
We can't answer that question. That's not a question, Gary, but it's classified.
Oh, Gary. He used to be, he used to play against Messi.
Yeah. And now look at him.
Now look at
Shopping
him.
in
He's got to go
CNA.
cap in hand to Harrison,
Yeah.
who fills it with slop out of the shared vat of food.
Just stuff out the lost property. At my school, we used to call it the Stig bin.
Fish. I'm not saying Exeter City have run out of money, but Gary Colwell's not wearing Noel Blake's old jacket.
Well, I think he's going for the kind of like, the old classic when you're kind of struggling salesman.
Yeah.
This is a David Brentism. You turn up don't turn up on a bike, you turn up in a new car.
Oh, yeah, good.
So Gary's gone like the club's skin.
Yeah.
So I have to turn up looking like, $1 million.
Yeah, good.
My finest threads.
You see, Gary...
It's a different approach to it's Paul Tisdale's school of style. I still think he wouldn't be caught dead in anything that Gary's been wearing, but he looks, it's stylish.
I mean, Tisdale...
It screams, my wife buys my clothes.
Do you think?
Gary...
He's all right down Princess A&E in Reese.
I think his wife's ordered them in for him.
Jen's got him in on there.
Whereas Tisdale, that's all his own doing.
I never even... Was Tisdale ever a wife or family? Never heard about it.
I don't know. He's too dedicated to the club.
He is.
Get him back in.
Some say he was married to Ted Baker. I think that's a vicious rumour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Married to style.
Poor old Gary. He can't even get a bobble hat.
Well, you don't need one in a minute because it's August, but
soon.
Maybe soon.
He'll be eating an artichoke on a stick.
Maybe it'll all turn around soon, and then we'll get new delicious pasties and loads of stuff in the club shop, and everything will be great.
Armani club shop.
Yeah, maybe.
Who is it that makes Napoli's? Is that Armani? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Get that?
Yeah. It's
Lovely.
their kind of sports wing.
It's their sports wing, yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back after Peterborough.
Yeah.
Tonight there's an Premier League under-21s game, isn't there?
Is there?
We're playing Luton.
Right.
Have I remembered that wrong?
Probably Jake Richards will be playing for them, won't he? He's not getting anywhere near the first team side.
He's probably getting paid 10 times the money.
Waste of time.
Jake, would you like to sign for us? What are you offering? Well...
We've got this new idea about mystery food. Stick a fork in a bag. And that's what you get for your wages.
Yeah. Any training kit? Don't be silly, Jake.
No.
You've grown out of your youth kit. All right. Well, we'll be back then.
Yeah.
We won't have any answers about the money. We might have some points in the... Might have got some more points.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
And then it'll be September. And so when does the window end?
Soon, innit?
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly. I think there's about a week left.
Right. Okay.
So we might have some transfers to discuss.
Never know. Never know.
Hope so.
Gary's got his son in from Stockport.
He wouldn't come and play for us. Why would he?
Can't pay him.
Yeah.
You have to share Perks' cot, head to toe, isn't he? Top and tail.
Yeah, no one wants that.
Thanks for listening, everyone. My name's John. I've been my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.